Have you ever heard a sound in your house at night, and your imagination just ran wild? Well, let me tell you about Sarah and the curious case of her whispering window. It's a story that starts with a spooky mystery and ends with a twist you won't see coming. Every single evening, just as the sun dipped below the horizon and the world outside grew quiet, Sarah would hear it, a soft, eerie whisper, seeming to drift right through the glass of her bedroom window. It was faint, almost like the rustling of leaves, but there was a distinct, human-like quality to it that sent a shiver down her spine. Was it the wind playing tricks on her? Or was it something else? The first few nights, she tried to ignore it, pulling her blanket up to her chin and telling herself it was nothing. But the whispers were persistent, returning like clockwork each evening. Sarah wasn't the type to just let a mystery go unsolved. She was brave, curious, and had a knack for getting to the bottom of things. So, she decided to become a detective in her own home. One evening, she prepared her investigation kit. It wasn't fancy, just a simple spiral notebook to jot down her observations. A powerful flashlight with fresh batteries and a whole lot of courage. She positioned her chair in the darkest corner of her room, giving her a perfect, unobstructed view of the window. She turned off the lights, leaving only the soft glow of the moon to illuminate the room. And then she waited. The house was silent except for the familiar hum of the refrigerator downstairs and the occasional creak of the old floorboards. An hour passed, then another. Sarah started to feel her eyelids getting heavy. Maybe the whispers wouldn't come tonight. Maybe she had imagined it all. Just as she was about to give up and crawl into bed, she heard it. A soft, crackling sound, followed by that same spooky whisper. It was closer this time, clearer. Her heart started to pound in her chest, a mix of fear and excitement. This was Italiano. Tucking a deep steadying breath, Sarah grabbed her flashlight, but decided not to turn it on just yet. She didn't want to scare away whatever was out there. Tiptoeing across the floor, her bare feet silent on the cool wood, she reached the window. Her hand trembled slightly as she gripped the latch. The whispers continued, a jumble of static and hushed tones. With one swift, silent motion, she slid the window open and peered out into the darkness of her backyard. And what she saw made her gasp, not in fear, but in utter surprise. Crouching below her window, in the middle of her mom's prize-winning petunias, was not a ghost or some mysterious creature of the night. It was her 7-year-old brother, Tim. He was holding a walkie-talkie in one hand, his face lit up by its faint green glow. He was so focused on the device, whispering into it with intense concentration, that he hadn't even noticed the window opening right above his head. Sarah couldn't help but let out a small laugh. "Tim, what on earth are you doing out here?" Tim jumped, startled, and nearly dropped the walkie-talkie. He looked up at her, his eyes wide with a mix of guilt and embarrassment. "Sarah, you scared me," he whisper-shouted. "I was on a top-secret mission." Sarah leaned out the window, a grin spreading across her face. "A top-secret mission? In Mom's and does this mission involve trying to scare your big sister?" Tim's face turned red. He sheepishly held up the walkie-talkie. "Well, slut, I was pretending to be a secret agent," he confessed. "But the static on this thing, it kinda sounds like a ghost, doesn't it? I thought it would be funny to make you think the house was haunted." Sarah shook her head, still laughing. The spooky, eerie whispers that had been keeping her up at night were just the crackle and pop of a cheap toy. And her little brother, imagination. The mystery was solved. Instead of being angry, Sarah felt a wave of affection for her little brother and his elaborate prank. She smiled. "You know, secret agents don't usually use ghost noises," she said, her voice warm. "They use secret codes. Want me to teach you how to make some real spy codes?" Tim's eyes lit up brighter than his walkie-talkie. "Really? You'd teach me." And so, the haunted window became the secret headquarters for a brand new spy agency. Sarah showed Tim how to create simple substitution ciphers and tap out messages in Morse code with his flashlight. The whispering window was no longer a source of fear, but a source of fun, connection, and a secret share between a brother and sister. And from that night on, the only whispers heard were those of two secret agents on their next big mission. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.